Good morning, everybody. And today's topic, well, we're going to talk about wobble in the toilet base after you install a toilet. So you go out, you buy the toilet. I had a neighbor that did that, came home because they had retiled their floor. They went ahead and they set the toilet down after the wax ring and all of that. They secured it with the bolts on the right and the left. And still they had this wobble in the very base of it, and they couldn't figure out how to get it out. So he came over and he talked to me and he said, hey, what do I do about this? I said, well, just shim it at the bottom and then, you can caulk around it. He didn't really understand what I meant. So I went over and I showed it to him. We came back to the garage and I gave him a handful of washers. But I'm going to show you a picture and I'm going to give you kind of a quick tip of the day if you have a similar problem at home. You know how to fix it real quick and real easily. Let me change the picture and then I'll answer some questions. One sec. Well, the first thing is let's just do a real quick review. When you go to put that toilet on, that flange is there. It's in the ground. And along with the toilet, they usually give you a package. It's got bolts and a wax ring and stuff like that. So you're going to put your bolts on. You're going to set your wax ring on there. And then you're going to pick up that toilet base and set it down right over the top of those bolts. And you push down on it, and that smashes that wax ring and creates a seal. And then you're going to put your bolts on. That's the basics. There's plenty of YouTube videos on how to install a toilet. The focus of this is to tell you how to get that wobble out of the base even after you've secured it. So let me change the picture and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, now I exploded this one way up that I found on the web, and it's got a different kind of a flooring on there, but it's still kind of a tile floor. So sometimes you have some unevenness on the floor even after you tile, and it creates, like I said, this wobble in this base. Now in the picture here, yeah, you can use pennies and you can slide them under where the gap is. And then, you keep playing around. You might have to put like one or two on one side, one or two on the other. You might have to put a couple in the front. And then you're going to get that toilet nice and secure where there's no more wobble. And then you have this caulking gun here with usually like a white caulking. And then you're going to go ahead and go right around the base of that. And you'll seal it and hide, the washers or, the pennies. This is a quick fix. It does work. I've done it more than once. And sometimes that wobble, you can't get it out. Don't over tighten the bolts. You'll snap that porcelain. So just snug everything down. And if you got the wobble, you can use washers. I thought washers were better to use. They're a little bit bigger, in diameter. You can stack them, like I said, and slide them under there. I've seen people before that use little pieces of wood like wedges and stuff like that. You could use that too, I suppose. I just think it's better if you're using like pennies or you're using washers. But that's your quick tip of the day. That's my suggestion on how to fix that wobble. It's kind of annoying. You go to sit down on it or something, you can feel it kind of rock on you. So this is all you got to do, and just get yourself some white caulking, and that's it. That's simple. Couple of quick notes here. You can get this caulking in different colors. It doesn't have to be white. They've got different variations of beige. So take a look around. I mean, if you've got like a beige colored flooring or something in brown, you might want to use the beige caulking around the base of the toilet. Now, the other thing I was going to tell you is when you're seating that toilet down, those brass bolts that come up, through there, and you tighten those down, you snug them down. Like I said, you don't over tighten them, you'll snap them. Sometimes they're too tall, they're brass. You get a little hacksaw and you just cut them down, because then you have these white caps that go over the top of it that hide the bolts. So you can always remember they're brass, it's easy to cut. Just get a little saw blade of some kind and then just cut them down. And there was a question on here like, what kind of a hose do I use? Well, I use stainless steel braided hosing, for your water supply, for where the valve is, like, coming out of the wall and then up to the toilet. And that's what I suggest you use. I don't use those cheap other hoses. I mean, I use the braided, like I said, stainless steel. They work much better. Okay, folks, that's it. It's your quick tip of the day, and I hope you get something out of this. And the focus here was on the wobble. But give me a thumbs up, click subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.